Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How we all doing this evening? Um, Tonight on Talking Sports with, we are gonna keep the NFL coverage going, and tonight we have the team across the turnpike for me, the Philadelphia Eagles. We have four panelists or four people coming on that represent the Philadelphia Eagles. We decided to start with Ryan first. Let's bring Ryan in. How you doing tonight, Ryan?
I'm good, man. Long day of schoolwork, but I'm always down to talk some Eagles football. So go Birds.
Well, I am glad you're here. How can people get a hold of you? What do you do? I know
Yeah,
you've been on.
so really you can check out the website that we have, www.bsnsports.com. It has all our plugs. I'm mostly active on Twitter. If you move the at sign in my name down below me to before the Ryan, that is my Twitter handle. So at Ryan BSing Sports. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Check us out there. Long days, driving to work or whatever you need to listen to. If you need some good sports coverage, we got it for you at BSing Sports. So just hit us up wherever you're listening to your podcast, wherever you watch your shows. We're there: Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the whole nine.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I know I pay attention to your stuff pretty much daily because you're always posting, so I always see it.
I try.
Always trying to comment. All right. Next, we are going to bring in Talking 215 Jake B. Medium beard, as we were talking before the show.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Good. Yourself, my man?
Oh, doing great, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. Happy to be on with you folks. Talk some birds, baby.
Well, I'm great. I'm happy you're here. I think Ryan likes you being here. So how do people get a hold of you, Jake?
Most are active on Twitter at Talking215. You can find all of our tweets there. We post all the links to any of our episodes. We're on every major podcast app: Spotify, Apple, Google, iHeartRadio, all of them. So you can just search Talking215, talking without a G.
Sounds good. Sounds good. How long have you been podcasting?
Approaching about a year and a half now. Started about end of last season. So got caught the tail end of last season, playoffs and all, and then the draft in the off season. And this is the second off season we're covering, but we're having a good time. We had Jordan Mailata on last year. We're working on getting a couple other current Eagles on for this season. So we got a couple pretty cool interviews coming up.
Good. I like to hear that. All you could do is throw it out there and say, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And if they take the bait, they take the bait.
Exactly. Or you can sing them and write them a song in ukulele, and that'll get their attention.
Stand outside their window with a boombox.
Exactly.
So now we're in the 80s.
Of course.
Outside with the boombox. Yes. All right. Next guest, Mr. Jake. Another Jake. We have two Jakes tonight, but we went with the longer beard as last because that's the way we did it.
Yeah, I was confused when I was listening to you talk to medium beard Jake. I was like, oh shit, did he put me on already? I was like looking at my phone, retweeting it, and I was like, oh snap, never mind.
So he looked at his beard and he was like, oh no, mine's much longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how you doing tonight, Jake?
I'm good, man. Long day of work, but I was able to finish up my birds list that you had us throw together. So
yeah, I feel like a teacher. I don't like it.
Yeah, always.
But it's fun homework. It's not the dreaded homework.
Exactly.
Like all the algebra 2 and algebra 4 and all that good crap. No, this is like breaking down your team and seeing how you want to break them down, how you bring in your lineup in. I've done a couple of these now. Some people have done them based on when they became a fan, their greatest team that way. I tend to look at both ways. I thought the quarterback situation would be interesting. I went with Donovan McNabb to start things off.
I agree. Yeah. That's who I went with as well.
I had to throw a little curveball in there. I kind of viewed it as, you could view it a lot of different ways. I viewed it as if you could put together the dream team, as Vince Young put it. What players would be on there? So of course I had to go 2017 Nick Foles as my all-time quarterback there. So you throw me some 2017 postseason Nick Foles, finishing the Super Bowl with 373 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. One of the greatest plays in Eagles history. Nick Foles is going to take my spot.
Something Brady's never done. Caught a Super Bowl touchdown.
Exactly.
So that was pretty memorable, that moment right there.
One of the best
Especially-
plays of all time. Not even just the Eagles.
You might call it special. Might call it Philly special.
Ooh.
Philly.
Well, there was a name for that show, was there not? For that play.
Yeah, either Philly
Yeah,
Philly or
Philly
Philly special, right?
Yeah. Yeah, one of those two. There's a statue of it. Should go check it out.
We already got a comment today. Raleigh Chris is out there in California, and he says he hopes the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I can't stand them cowgirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amen.
We all agree on that one, even if you're not an
That
Eagles
makes
fan.
3 of us at least.
All right. This might be interesting. I went with LaShawn McCoy as my first pick on running back.
I guess I didn't have a quarterback.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. I thought you went. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I went with
Go ahead.
Randall. I went with Randall. My criteria, if my criteria wasn't that they spent at least most of their career as an Eagle, I was going to go with Norm Van Brocklin, but he only played 3 years as an Eagle, so I'll go with Randall just because
Two
I feel like-
championships though.
yeah, and has held the record for most passing yards in a game for like 55 or 60 years. So, but,
No, Randall's a good one. The ultimate weapon, man.
yeah, I mean, he was so
Yeah.
dynamic, and then Buddy Ryan got rid of all his offensive weapons. He didn't have an
Let's say,
offensive line. He got
Buddy Ryan gave one shit about his offense.
Oh,
Could have
gosh.
been a lot better in Philadelphia.
it was criminal. And then he goes and gets 2 very good receivers and goes 13-1 and gets to the NFC Championship game. So, but
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
so Randall Cunningham.
I'm sorry, I forgot about you. I thought you
It's
you
okay, man.
said
I'm
you-
easily forgettable. It's fine.
Well, why don't you start off with us? Who you went with the running back?
Oh, Shady, easily. He's the best running back in Eagles history. And I think the second one will surprise some people. But yeah, I mean, LaShawn McCoy, easily the most dynamic runner in Eagles history, actually averaged over 100 yards a game on the ground in 2013. So,
Shady had some good runs. 6,792 yards, 49 touchdowns. Yeah, I had him as my number 1 too.
I did as
yeah,
well.
it's actually
200
pretty.
receiving yards.
It's pretty close for me with another Eagle, but I'll give you a hint. It's not Brian Westbrook.
Well, I'll tell you, my number 1 is Brian Westbrook. I mean, the
Really?
guy
Number
just gave you
36.
everything he needed with it. He was a decent pass blocker when called upon. He also had multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons. Finished his career in Philadelphia with just 5 yards shy of 6,000 yards, 5,995 yards, 37 rushing touchdowns with a great 4.6 yards per carry, the same as Shady McCoy's yards per carry if you want to talk about electric runners. But then the biggest part is he finished with 3,790 receiving yards and throwing on another 29 receiving touchdowns on top of it. I mean, the guy was, in his time, had to be the best receiving back in the backfield, where typically you can pick one or the other, but to have multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons and multiple 500-plus yard receiving seasons, sometimes coinciding, no, that's going to be the number 1 for me.
I'll agree with that in his time statement, only because Marshall Faulk was at the end of his career at that point.
Yeah.
But Westbrook was a dynamic weapon too. But I mean, just Shady's almost 7,000 yards rushing as an Eagle in 7 seasons is hard to top. And I feel
Sure.
I feel like Westbrook was aided a little bit by the fact that Correll Buckhalter could never stay healthy. It seemed like Andy Reid always wanted to use him, and he just could never stay on the field. So kind of had to go with Westbrook. And Westbrook did okay with it, I guess.
And Westbrook during his years was pretty much the only weapon Donovan McNabb had on offense. So defenses had the scheme.
Whoa. We had Todd Pinkston, man. I know he's on all of our
James
lists.
Brad.
Hey, don't forget about James
Fred
Thrash,
X.
man.
Freddie Mitchell.
Good old alligator arms.
4th and 26, man.
I know.
Hey, Fred X,
I
baby.
love that play. And the Cowboys play too, and McNabb scrambled for what, like
Yeah.
15 seconds?
18 seconds.
Launched it.
Jeez.
No, I mean Shady's obviously on there. He's number 2 on my list. Rightfully so. For all
I
the
got him
reasons
reversed.
you mentioned.
One
but,
Westbrook too.
yeah, I mean it's a coin flip, really.
I mean,
you could go way back and look at the pre-Super Bowl era guys, or you could even look at like a Ricky Waters who had a short stint but was obviously incredibly talented here. For who, for what, but Wait, that
Yeah,
was that.
I,
No, that was
I went with Van Buren just because, I mean, 7,000 yards rushing, led the NFL in rushing 4 times, during that era. And he had 70 rushing touchdowns. I mean, and this was playing 3 years with Van Brocklin, who was a good running quarterback in his own right. But, I mean, Hall of Famer. They didn't really keep track of too many receiving stats back then for running backs. So, yeah, I think the most receptions he had in a year was 10. But yeah, I mean, as far as running backs go, I think you could pick any combination of those three and it would work out just fine.
Maybe Wilbur Montgomery as an honorable mention as well.
yeah.
I went with Montgomery as my number 2. Go ahead. What were we gonna say, Jake? We'll call you Jake O, and then we'll call Jake B. We'll call Jake B. B. All right.
No, I was just gonna say honorable mention Wilbur Montgomery. He had a hell of a career.
Yeah.
Helped the Eagles go to their first Super Bowl. So, but I definitely got to go with McCoy and Westbrook as my top 2 guys. They just were electrifying to watch. I mean, who doesn't remember McCoy in that snow game the second half?
That's the first thing when you said electrifying to watch. That was the first game that came to mind.
Insane.
Man, I'll tell you what, it wasn't the big games McCoy had. It was the minus 8-yard runs that somehow turned into 2-yard gains. I mean, oh man. You couldn't lay a finger on him in the backfield. I mean, he was Barry Sanders after, that's.
And everyone remembers the 2 miracle at the Meadowlands, the Herm Edwards and the Deshaun Jackson. But there was also the Brian Westbrook,
Yeah,
where
3.
it was just an ugly game. The offense wasn't doing shit all game long, and it came down to a punt, I think, with like a minute and a half left. And Westbrook just took off down the sideline and put the game away for us. Huge punt return.
Yeah, Westbrook was a true weapon out there. It was insane. I mean, I remember Madden 07, just every play, Westbrook.
I think that was the last good Madden, too.
Yeah, pretty much.
This year's isn't too bad so far.
Was that Adrian Peterson on the cover?
Yeah.
Or was that?
No, that was Alexander. That was Sean Alexander.
Oh, yeah.
I was playing it on my GameCube, man. I was just having a great time.
Holy crap. I've heard GameCube in a while. Actually, I heard it at work because I guess you can play it now on the Switch.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know how you can do those controllers on the Switch, but that's just what I heard today. It threw me all off. I was like,
I don't know nothing about that, man.
I mean, I know you can play like your 8-bit system on the Switch, like your Nintendo. Like you can go back and play those games. Little Tecmo Bowl.
There you go.
Beat by Jackson and just run all over the damn place. All right, so wide receivers, I got to see Harold Carmichael get inducted in 2020. I didn't realize how tall that guy was.
Yeah. Golly, 6'8".
Yeah, he's the OG Megatron before there was a Megatron. I mean, he just jumped over people with ease. Pretty sure they made a rule in the NFL like you weren't supposed to be able to jump over defenders' heads because that's all Harold Carmichael would do.
He was huge, and that was one of the things they kept showing at the hall was him jumping over players. It was pretty. I didn't really know too much about him because I grew up on the other side of town, so I didn't really know too much about him. But then I watched him, and I was like, "Holy cow, this guy's pretty fucking sharp."
Oh yeah, tried to force him into a tight end role with his size and everything, and just wasn't what he was built for. I mean, was what he was built for, wasn't what he excelled at.
He was super athletic for being as big as he was. So
exactly, he moved into wide receiver and just took off. I mean, finished with what 8,978 yards and almost 79 scores,
79 touchdowns,
and a lot of those seasons I think were only 14.
Yeah,
long.
Yeah,
he's on the 75th anniversary team, and
his only flaw was that he finished his career a Cowboy.
He got injured right away.
7 receiving yards.
Yeah, caught 1 pass.
No, and I mean every single season he didn't have a single season with less than I think 14 yards per catch was his lowest season for average.
Yeah,
and the guy just stretched the field.
2 yards a catch as an Eagle.
That's insane numbers. I mean, imagine if he was playing now.
And I think the most receptions he had in a season was like under 70.
Yep.
And he had 1,200 yards.
It's criminal that it took the committee to vote him into the Hall of Fame, though. That's a damn shame.
Oh, there's a number of players that I still.
Oh, there's one I got on here.
That's like how the hell are you not in there?
Yep.
Once we go to the other side of the ball, I got one that it's criminal. There's 2 in there really.
I went with Deshaun Watson. I mean Jackson. Jesus.
I was about to say, I know that was a rumor for a while, but
We got 31 cases now.
Oh, is that what we're up to?
Well, with you in there.
Oh, did you see the shirts they were trying to sell in Cleveland?
Oh, it's Cleveland is an abomination.
Said, "Give me a massage, bitch."
Jeez. Leave it to Cleveland. Imagine
Well,
if Philly did that. It would be
to be
plastered
fair,
all over.
dumpster
Please.
fire of an organization, so it fits.
Yep.
Well, for number 2, I went with my boy Mike Quick.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah.
I mean, he was a couple injuries away from possibly being the number 1 spot. I mean, he rivaled Carmichael with his abilities, and he just couldn't seem to stay healthy. I mean, he played 8 years, but off and on the field. But to still be able to get 6,464 yards and 61 scores in the really limited time he was able to be out there fully healthy, he was truly incredible. I just wish I was able to see him live. I just rely on all the
17.8
highlights.
yards per catch.
Oh, it's insane. He was another bigger body guy, just get up there and manhandle guys at the point of the catch.
And he's awesome on game days on 94.1.
Oh, yeah, the Hers crunch moment of the game.
Love those two together.
Oh, they're the best.
Rories.
Yeah, I had Mike Quick on my list, but because of the injuries, I put him at number 4. I got Tommy Mack at number 2.
Yeah, it was really tough for me to take Tommy Mack off, not have him on there. The only reason
We got 4. We got 4 wide receivers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I have 2 other ones.
I wasn't
But
sure.
he was
sure.
like right there at 5, just because I was trying to stay like a little bit more recent. There's only one name from like way back, and we'll get to him, and he's an obvious.
I already know who it is. I mean, we probably all have him on the list. So
after that, I tried to obviously Tom McDonald is a top 4 Eagles wide receiver of all time. Nope, you're not going to find any argument from there. I just tried to stay a little bit more recent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
84 touchdowns, 8,400 yards.
With the Eagles,
he was tiny, though,
oh yeah,
I was looking at
87 catches.
Would he translate to today's game? I don't think he would.
No, I mean,
would he still be best friends with Ray Diddy? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
19 yards a catch though for Tommy Mack in his Eagles career.
At a time where he didn't throw the ball much too.
No, and at times where defenders, could murder guys on the field and it's not a penalty. So,
well, it was a man's game, leather helmets and
hey, both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
You think if you guys played with leather helmets with those beards, you scare the shit out of people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all 5'6" of me, man. I'd scare the shit out of somebody.
I'm just saying, you look at these old pictures and they don't have the beards.
The white Boston
Scott, it was frowned upon to have a beard.
I love these things, man. Leave me alone.
I was offered a promotion at work today, and I turned it down because they said I'd have to be clean shaven. Ryan will tell you I'm not making that up. I was like, nope, sorry, unwilling to do it.
No, I wouldn't do it either. I mean, I did that every day for 7 years. I'm not doing that ever again.
Yep, 5 years. We couldn't have one at work, and I'm not going back.
I don't blame you. I mean, it must not have been that good of a promotion because usually money does talk a little bit.
I mean, did you have a full baby face or?
Oh yeah, clean shaven.
Yeah,
clean,
see that? That's no.
I said no, because I asked him. I was like, "Can I have just well trimmed?" They're like, "No, it'd have to be clean shaven." I was like, "Nope, sorry,
I'm out."
Anyway, number 3, I had the same as you, but as your number 2, I went to Deshaun Jackson. Has to be the best deep threat.
Deshaun Watson.
No, didn't go to Deshaun Watson.
Wrong list.
I like my butthole untouched.
Yeah, wrong list.
Yeah.
Not exactly the wine we're talking about.
Yeah, D-Jax has to be the best deep threat in Eagles history, and he's a top 5 deep threat in NFL history.
He has the most 50-yard touchdowns in a career.
26, 60-plus yard touchdowns, and he's tied for 80-yard plus touchdowns at 5. I'm not sure who he's tied with, though. I couldn't find that stat.
Deshaun Watson.
that could be it. Yes. Oh man! All right, is that going to be the running joke of the night? Anyway,
he also
as
had
an-
over
the
17
opportunity,
yards
so.
catch.
as an Eagle, he had 6,500 yards and 35 touchdowns, and he made 3 Pro Bowls.
And like 33 of those touchdowns were all bombs.
Who remembers
Right.
Game 1, Mike Vick
31
season
of
against the Redskins?
Oh,
that
Mike
was
Vick
awesome.
threw it like
Awesome.
80 yards in the air.
Hit him in stride too.
Oh yeah.
Deshaun Jackson turns around, points at the defender, lets him know he's trash, as he should.
Oh, of course. You got and then of course Nick Foles' 7 touchdown game where he bailed him out after having like 2 of them that should have been clear-cut interceptions that just bounced off the brick hands, and he waltzes it in for a score.
I'll never forget the game against the Cowboys though, where he dropped the ball at the 1. What was that?
His first 2 touchdowns, he did
Yeah.
that. The second one, he realized it and picked it up. But
Yeah.
when we did our top 5 most embarrassing moments in Philly sports, it was an honorable mention for me that his first 2 touchdowns in the NFL, he dropped it at the 1.
He's super lucky. Westbrook scored. What was it? The next play or the second down?
It was. I think it was.
I don't think anyone picked up the ball or something, so they reviewed
Yeah,
it.
and
No
then
one
Westbrook
picked it up. So
yeah, Westbrook scored it. I think it was the
4-1.
second play.
Yeah.
But then the next one, he did realize it. He picked it back up himself.
So it was
and
just
walked it in.
premature. It was just premature celebration.
Yeah.
kinda
Deshaun
like
Watson
Deshaun
knows a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
yeah. Well, maybe he had premature or something else.
Yeah.
And then
Anyways.
did anybody else have TO?
That was my 4th.
No.
Yep, that was 4 for me.
You have to. I mean, 2 seasons, 21 games. He has 20 touchdowns, almost 2,000 yards.
I would have put him in there, but my criteria was he had to spend at least,
Yeah.
most of the
I was
season.
doing
I
that
get
for a
that.
while. I had Barnett as my 4th, but I looked at T.O.'s numbers. I said, no. T.O.
I
was
almost went
ridiculous.
Paul Turner, but it was preseason, wasn't allowed, so I left
Exactly.
him off.
But playing that Super Bowl on a broken ankle and putting up over 100 yards is just incredible.
No, exactly. The only reason I put him on there was because I kind of viewed it as if I could pick players for like to play a must-win game, who would I want out there? And if you're telling me my wide receivers are Harold Carmichael, Mike Quick, T.O., and Deshaun Jackson, I mean, you put 4 wide receivers out there to win a game tomorrow in their prime from the Eagles, and if
And
they're
you're
not those 4, I'm
flopping
going to tell you
Shady
wrong.
and Westbrook in the backfield. Like,
Just
Well,
wait until we get to tight ends.
I went with Bobby Walton. I needed a field goal kicker and a regular wide receiver.
Hey,
He had both. He had 46 touchdowns, 5,363 yards, couple Super Bowl or NFL,
Championships.
whatever they called them then, championships.
Only team that beat Lombardi in the playoffs.
oh yeah.
I don't know. I just saw this guy, read up on him, and I was like, I like him.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right, so let's get to your tight ends there, Jake B.
I mean, one has to be Zach Ertz for me.
Me too.
Wasn't the all-around tight end, but as a pass-catching tight end, there's no better, and that's Warren Midnight Green.
He had
Not better
100.
at catching a ball, but the worst yak you could ever see in your
Oh
life.
my
No,
god!
yeah.
I swear his feet stopped moving
Oh, we
as soon
had-
as his hands went up to catch the ball.
We had an old co-host that tried to convince us that he was so good at yards after the catch, and I was like, dude, what the hell are you talking about? His nickname is literally No Yak Zach.
It's like
This
when
guy-
you hold X on Madden to catch the ball and they just drop to the ground to catch it.
Oh, I mean, the
did not
flap of a
get that.
butterfly's wing would knock this guy over, but he'd catch everything.
He had one season with 116 grabs.
Oh
He
yeah,
led the NFL that year.
yeah, it set the NFL reception
Tight end
record.
record,
Tight end.
right.
that's it all of a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always try to get Zach Ertz on my fantasy team just because it's, you
Oh,
you get 1
yeah.
point
You
per
are, yeah.
reception.
He's
Yeah.
still probably going to be a top 10 tight end.
He'll probably be top 5 just for the simple fact that D-Hop suspended the first 6 games, and tight end's such a volatile position. Like, he'll just have to show up the rest of the year and probably be fit top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Ertz 1, and then my second would be Brent Selleck.
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah,
because he's an all-around guy. Great. He's a Philly guy. I mean, he loves Philly.
Still
He
lives
played
in the
11
area.
seasons and missed 1 game, which is incredible. At that position, the way he played, the way he blocked, to miss 1 game. That's
And then
incredible.
find me a highlight where one man took him down. I don't think you can. You talk about yards after the catch. This guy was never taken down by one
By
man.
one guy.
No, it's always 2 or 3 that hop in the pile, and then his knife hands split the field in half. I swear, he just that
Yep.
it just split the field in 2. Now I've got a throwback like the Kelly Green Brent Selleck jersey, and then a coworker of mine, her or an ex coworker of mine, her sister works at his office, and I gave it to her, and she was able to get it signed. So that's like a prized possession of mine. Brent Selleck is a in my like just for my favorite list. He's a top 5 favorite Eagle of mine.
I mean, y'all missed the best part is when he was toward the end of his career and goes, "I'll retire before I play for the Cowboys after Jason."
Amen.
Yeah. And sure enough, he just retired. He said, "Nope, not doing it," and called it quits.
That's loyalty right there.
Amen.
Also played in college with Jason Kelsey.
Brent Selleck, Cincinnati.
And Connor Barwin.
I took an old timer. I went with Pete Rajcliffe.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
I had Brent Selleck actually written down 175 games, and then I was like, then I was reading, and so that changed my.
And still had 5,000 yards and 31 touchdowns. Like, it's not like he wasn't a threat. He was just the all-around tight end.
Right.
I mean, there's an argument for all-around tight end. He was the best in Eagles history. You just can't ignore Zach Ertz's ability to put up insane stats.
His route running was so good.
Yeah, his route running and his catching, not his ability to do anything else. Can't block worth a shit. Can't run after the catch, but
yeah, I don't know how you can run.
Does that seem to be a problem does that seem to be a problem in Philly with the tight end, just catch and drop?
Well, Goddard has a little bit of dog in him.
Well,
I hold my breath every time he's running now. I feel like he's gonna fumble.
Yeah, he's got that.
He just hangs it out there,
swinging it like a loaf of bread out there.
You know what? We all thought that about LaShawn McCoy too, and that dude didn't fumble ever.
Yeah, I think he had 14 total and a ridiculous amount of carries. I was
That's
looking
probably
at
his most mind-blowing stat if you ever watched him play was the fact that he only had like 15 fumbles his whole career.
Yeah,
and then Westbrook.
He's pinching the ball and it's just not going anywhere. And then you got stinking Sanders out there hugging it and just squirting out like a damn
Miles Sanders contributed to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside's only career touchdown. Now,
yes, he did.
If Miles Sanders can find the damn end zone, he would have been a top 5 running back.
Hell no.
Miles Sanders is the worst red zone running back in the NFL.
Worst. I picked him on my fantasy team, but that was always available.
RFP, dude.
So hopefully things turn around here.
I mean, he's already got a hammy problem, so and those things.
I mean, he's already the second most talented running back on the roster, and you could argue that Boston Scott's probably better than him too. So
Kenny G, baby,
is number 1.
Kenny Gainwell is easy. Yeah. Jalen Hurts is actually the best running back on the Eagles.
Well, speaking of Jalen Hurts, real quick, what do you guys think? Is he going to be in the running for MVP at the end of the season? Talk, or haven't anyone gotten that far yet on their podcast?
No, but he's going to be solid.
All he has to do is be a little bit better than he was last year with the roster they put around him.
AJ Brown may get 380 targets.
Dallas Goedert might get more.
AJ, are you going to say he's like? Are you saying AJ is going to be like Brandon Cooks in Houston?
Even more so. He's going to throw it up to him, and I'm not mad at it. Like AJ Brown, I've been high on him for years, even before there were any talks that he was coming to Philly. And there really weren't any talks. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, that was the other question too. Like, what was the buzz around that time that trade happened?
Oh my gosh!
Were you guys on podcast automatically?
To then trading for AJ Brown in like a 15-minute span? Philadelphia nearly
then the immediate announcement of the contract extension too. It was like, God,
for a great deal.
Yeah,
I want them to
for him,
use
easy
AJ Brown like Deebo Samuel's used because they say once he catches the ball, he's like a running back. So if Hurts isn't the greatest thrower, why not throw plays in there just to get him the ball however you can, whether it's a quick screen or a jet pass, jet sweep, something. Get the ball in his hands. Let Kelsey or Juergens, anyone pull out like they do, get in front of them. And
most athletic damn centers in the league.
Yeah, I mean,
I just worry about his longevity doing that. You had it banged up last year. I just worry about those short passes. You're getting 3 or 4 people running into him rather than just the cornerback or safety. But I love the idea.
Yeah, I mean, you already signed him. He's what, a 4-year deal.
And
by
then you
time
got
his
the
deal's over, he's like 28, 29.
4-year extension on top of the 1 year he's got left. So it's
Yeah.
basically
Use
5
him
years
up.
for 105.
Well, that's
Use
not
him up
bad.
those 5 years.
Oh, with what they're getting now, that's a great deal.
Mhm.
No, and the wide receiver market in a few years is gonna, this is gonna look like pennies. So
The San
Oh, yeah.
my
top
San
top top three,
Francisco-
one of the top three most explosive receivers in the NFL, though, AJ Brown. I think the year he had 1,000 yards, he only had like 60 catches.
All right, Harold Carmichael.
Was one day AJ Brown going to make this list?
He's
so.
probably the best wide receiver we've had since
T.O.
T.O. Because Deshaun is completely different.
Macklin
Yeah.
was solid too, but he's not on the level of T.O. or A.J.
Yeah, Macklin was very good. AJ Brown could be great, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a good assessment of that.
All right. Well, Gina said, "Hey, what's up? What's up, guys?"
What's up,
Hey,
Gina?
Gina.
Yep, Gina.
I went Jason Peters on my offensive line.
Oh,
Honorable mention.
yeah, that's the wrong Jason, but that's an honorable mention.
Tough end to his career in Philly that kind of soured some
Mhm.
people, but I mean, he is one of the best left tackles in Eagles history.
It's
in
amazing
the
the
sport
stretch we've
history.
had of good tackles. I mean, we've kind of been spoiled the past 20 years. I mean, Runyon, Thomas. There's a little gap where you had like the Andrews brother and that fiasco, but even Harriman's when he was tackled, they moved to guard, and then you get Peters for however many years, just absolute stud, and then Lane Johnson, a stud.
Yeah,
That's
and then Mailata is,
and Mailata's gonna be it.
Yeah, and even when we were hating on Peters, like when I had Mailata on, he was talking about how like his career changed because Peters was on that team. Like we were hating on him because he kind of gouged the Eagles for a little bit more money and all, and was just constantly injured. But he and other players on that team were saying how he would just sit down and coach these guys for hours.
Yeah, Super
About
Bowl.
all right. Oh yeah.
Big V said it. He helped coach him up tremendously.
I mean, he helped Big V get a huge unnecessary contract with Detroit. So
yeah, he did. So I mean, it soured some people's taste with him and all, but behind the scenes seemed to always just have the team's best interest in mind outside of getting his bag, which you can't really be mad at.
no, he was like
Everybody wants their money, dude.
At that point, like, what else are you gonna do?
He'll probably be the next Eagles Hall of Fame inductee.
Oh yeah,
that was that was at the end of my list. Is he going to be a Hall of Famer?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. First ballot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever gone to one?
Yeah, I went the year B-Doc was inducted.
Yeah, me too.
No, I wasn't able to make it.
I love football. It's Brian Dawkins.
Amen. I went Jason Kelsey though, by the way.
Yeah, that's why I said wrong, Jason. I also went with Jason Kelsey, but
I was getting there. I was going to get to see who you guys went. I was getting there. I just sometimes I get sidetracked and
he also could be a Hall of Famer.
Hey man, I work for BSN Sports. We don't ever stay on topic.
Centers, it's hard to get in for though, but I just think winning the Super Bowl and just being a late round pick and starting your rookie year from day one and taking the criticism that he did from Philadelphia and looking himself in the mirror instead of being like, oh, screw you guys, I'm the NFL. No, he took the criticism like, you know what? I have to get better. And he worked his ass off and one of the best centers to ever play the game.
Embodied everything about Philadelphia too.
Exactly. And then the speech just top.
Jason Kelsey is to the Eagles what Chase Utley was to the Phillies. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more vocal, but heart and soul.
No doubt.
Oh yeah.
Chase Utley was a good player. I don't know. He just was.
He was a good player.
My guy's J-Roll from those teams. I've always loved Rollins.
That lineup did go as J-Roll went, but I was a big Ryan Howard guy.
Pre-Achilles Ryan Howard was me all day.
Yeah.
That injury killed him.
Jason Peters, another great beard. or Jason Kelsey, excuse me. Jason Kelsey, another great beard.
Yeah, Peters had a pretty good beard
Peter
too.
has
Yeah, Peters had a solid beard.
always had.
Peters had a touchdown. He caught a touchdown.
He used to be a tight end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was a quarterback. Wasn't he a
He
quarterback
was a
in high
quarterback
school?
quarterback
Him
and a
and
tight
Lane
end.
Johnson were both quarterbacks in high school or something like that. I mean, Peters was in high school.
Kelsey talked about the one time he
I
played
saw
quarterback
that
for a
too.
quarter.
Nick Sirianni talking to him.
Yeah. He's
Threw
like,
an
nah, I'm way too
incompletion
out of
and an
shape.
interception on 2 passes, and then he took himself out of the game. Great.
Wow, you don't find most guys want to get in there and prove themselves. He's like, I'm not. This isn't me. I'm out.
No. Because he was still playing linebacker on defense.
Yeah.
They're
Well, that's
having him run every play because he couldn't pass for shit.
Well, you said that he just, even if it was a pass play, he just tucked it and ran because he was like, I already threw an incompletion interception, so I'm just running the damn thing now.
Oh, jeez.
All right, so we got two Kelseys and
3.
three Kelseys. I'm the oddball.
All Jasons.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got the first name. That's good. Defensive lineman. I went with Reggie White, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
set in stone there. Not much to talk about next.
13
Yeah, you
time
gotta go
Pro
with the
Bowler,
military.
80s, 90 all decade team. Man's a legend. I don't care.
Had more sacks than games played as an Eagle
124 sacks. 8
in
seasons.
122 games.
2 interceptions.
Yeah.
2 defensive players of the year. One with the Pack. I guess it was one with the Packers in '98, and then one with the Eagles in '87. 6 first all team first.
Beast.
Oh my God! All pro, all first team.
Yeah, I think it was 6 straight that he had.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just crazy. 13. He made the Pro Bowl every year.
I mean, he's one of the best. I mean, if not the best at his position. So if you say anything other than that, then I mean, I don't even know who I would give an honorable mention next to his name. It's kind
Go
of
ahead.
tough.
Yeah, there'd be like 3 tiers. Like I'd have to do an honorable mention for defensive linemen when we talk about the secondary. Like it'd have to be that far.
Yep.
So he's that good. I mean, he's made the Hall of. He made. I do you think he would have went? Did he go in as a Packer or an Eagle?
I would imagine an Eagle. He played
I think an
8
Eagle.
seasons as an Eagle and 6 as a Packer. So I would imagine
He never
that's an
wanted to
Eagle, but-
leave, but they didn't even offer him a contract.
No,
He said he would have taken less money.
Yep.
He said all he wanted was an offer, and he would have signed it. They didn't give him not one offer. He
No
walked.
loyalty.
there's a couple embarrassing moments. And,
Mhm.
Chip Kelly getting rid of everybody that made the Eagles good is one of them.
So he wanted to come back to being a Eagle for the final year.
for his final, for the rest of his career.
Yeah, no, he wanted to just
start it.
flat out be an
He
Yeah.
never
Eagle.
wanted to not be an Eagle.
Yeah, that's when free agency started.
Philadelphia
He was-
Stars,
I guess-
great. Reggie White, USFL, great, man.
Yeah,
he
he
started.
was with the Showboats, I believe, the Memphis Showboats.
He was with the Stars, man.
He was with the Stars.
Wasn't he with the Stars?
I don't
thought.
think so.
Yeah.
I
know
thought he was with the
USFL.
I thought he was with the Showboats. the
He
Memphis.
might have been. I just know he was USFL.
But he was-
Maybe I just was.
He was. He did get USFL Player of the Year.
He
what was
prob-
that,
yeah, I
84,
probably got it mixed
85.
up.
Yeah, did you guys watch any of the USFL?
I did not.
I watched the championship game.
Yeah, I
and
watched
I'll
the
tell you, it was great. It was a great game.
I just
I-
can't get behind something I have no rooting interest in. It was tough. And
The
then
Stars, man.
Philadelphia putting a star on their helmet really pissed me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah,
But you-
That
I
should
mean, but
never
it's-
been allowed.
I have my
but it's
theory.
back
I have
to-
my
back to
theory on
roots.
that. I have my theory on that real quick if you guys want to hear it.
Oh,
Good.
please. Your show, man.
So Miles Tannenbaum grew up in Queens, New York, and he gets given a team in Philadelphia. Now, growing up in Queens, New York, had to be a Giants fan because there's no blue or gray in that jersey, original. There's also no green or silver in there. And at the time in that division, there were the Cardinals, Cowboys, Redskins. So the pants were red, the star on the helmet, and then the orange jerseys.
Just mix them all together.
And I think that's what he did. Now, what Eddie DeBartolo Sr. did to the Maulers, it had to be because his son owned the Niners. So he was not going to put another black and gold team in Pittsburgh. So he made them. Oh, I put it away. Oh, no, it's still here.
Timber.
Oh, I moved it. Sorry. You guys still there?
Yep.
No, we left.
Okay. Sweet. I'm not sure what that. Oh. All right. Yeah, I thought I had it, but they put us purple and orange. I'm not
Go
sure.
Phantoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that was a quick USFL talk, everyone. All right, so who else? We have any more honorable mentions for defensive linemen?
Nope.
Just to let you know, when I knocked that over, my screen went completely hayward. So there's now 8 of yins on my screen.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened.
The more the merrier.
More the merrier, right? I went with Jeremiah Trotter as one of my linemen. I know he wasn't there real long, and it probably does not fit Ryan's criteria, but
No, he was there 3 different times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him as number 2.
Me
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, he was my honorable mention.
Did anybody else go? Did anybody not go Seth Joyner?
I went Seth Joyner number 1.
I had Seth Joyner on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
That's
Seth
the
and
other guy.
I'd Chuck on there too, but I know that's a little bit too far back for you.
I went with Chuck too.
No, Chuck was my number 2. That's the one guy that I was talking about.
Yeah, that's
I
kind of
almost put him at the center spot.
He was smoking a
Fun
cigar and a cigarette at the same time in the locker room.
I almost put Charlie as the center spot for the offensive lineman.
I mean, think about it. Even in an era like that, not many people, played 2 positions. He played 2 positions at high levels. He was a very good center and a very good linebacker.
Whoa, he played 3, man. Long snap.
Oh yeah, true. He was a long snapper. Yep.
He played
That's
offense, defense, special teams.
I didn't know that.
The real Iron Man, and he went to 8 Pro Bowls.
Seth Joyner was the guy I had in mind when we were talking about guys that really should be in the Hall.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think Seth Joyner fully deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, I remember watching
17 interceptions as a linebacker just with the Eagles. That's a lot.
21 forced fumbles as well.
I remember watching a post-game live where him and Ray were on there, and he brought it up, and even Ray was like, "Wait, you're not in the Hall of Fame?" Ray had a full assumption, oh yeah, Seth's obviously in the Hall of Fame.
And for an inside linebacker, he underrated stat he has is 37 sacks. You wouldn't.
Yeah, I was going to
think
say
that Seth Joyner had
37
that many
sacks, dude, as an interior linebacker.
6 seasons with 110 plus tackles. The guy was just an animal all over the field, and he's an animal in the post games as well.
Yeah.
Will he be in the Hall of Fame one day?
I think
I doubt it. But
unless they do one of those ones where they add 20 people at once. Maybe
He should be.
the NFL easily has the worst Hall of Fame voting system out of any of the 4 major sports, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Yeah, I have a defensive back that's.
I've got a D
Yeah,
back.
I'm sure we all have the
Logan
same
Hose.
defensive back. It's Jake's boy. It was the second name that came to mind.
It's,
We're all just
It's
going to skip
ridiculous.
Brian Dawkins, right? Obviously he's all our number 1.
Yes.
100%. It's Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, how
That's
do you
the
know?
other guy that got completely disrespected by this franchise.
Yep.
And I always love the Dawkins, Ed Reed, Troy Polamalu debate. Everyone always talks about how Ed Reed and Polamalu are better. I don't agree. I mean, they might have
They were
more
great.
interceptions.
They weren't him.
Dawkins is one who started that hybrid safety, him and Jim Johnson. And I know Dawkins, credits a lot of his career to Jim Johnson and how he used him. I mean, the guy had 913 tackles as a safety. He's insane.
Brian Dawkins is the only player in NFL history with 25 sacks, 25 interceptions, and 25 forced fumbles.
He's the GOAT. The true GOAT.
He like you think people think of Palomalu and they think of forcing fumbles. He didn't even have as many as Dawkins. People think of Ed Reed, they think of coverage, and he was probably better in coverage than Dawkins was, but Dawkins held his own out there.
Oh yeah,
that's why I got that little mini shrine behind me of him right there.
Y'all heard that like Takeo Spikes interview the one day or whatever where Brian Dawkins went up to him before a game and he was like, "Spikes, I'm gonna take his soul."
Yeah.
Like, what? And he's like, "Spikes, I want to see how bad he wants to play that." And I think it was Donald Driver or something. I mean, he just absolutely leveled somebody across the sideline and he looks up and he goes, "Hallelujah, thank you, Jesus." Yep. And Takeo Spikes is looking at him like, "Are you okay, man?"
Yeah, as like all-time favorite Eagles, I had a debate on my show before. Is Kelsey approaching Dawkins as like the
he's on the Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, because he won the Super Bowl in that Super Bowl speech. I think. I mean, me personally, it's always gonna be Dawkins, like I said before, because he's the one that when I really started to watch football in the mid to late '90s, he's the one that stood out to me, and he's the reason I played and watched football for the rest of my life. Because it was WWF before that, Attitude Era, Suck It, Stone Cold Steve Austin. That was the shit before. And I saw Dawkins and I was like, I love this game. And that's why he'll always be my number one. But Kelsey's like a 1B, 1A, 1B.
What separates them
definitely getting up there.
Yeah, what separates them to me is like, don't get me wrong, Kelsey's obviously a beast in his position. Brian Dawkins was scary to look at, man, just watching like that dark visor, that weird face mask that he had. Like he scared the hell out of me, and I was watching the game. Like I was like, I'm on this guy's team.
Yeah, if you ever, I'm sure you guys probably seen it, the Weapon X video that NFL did a while ago with him on it. I mean, I used to watch that before like every football game I played. That thing, it still gets me juiced up today when I watch it.
No doubt.
Yeah, no, Brian Dawkins is probably the most intimidating dude I've ever seen play football.
He's a monster. All right. I went with Troy Vincent.
He's my number 4.
He was my number 3.
Or no, it's my number 3 as well, yeah. Sorry, I read it wrong. Can't count.
Go ahead and say it, Jake.
I didn't see any
He's
of
an
that.
honorable mention.
What, Troy Vincent?
He's 5 for me.
Okay.
I think there were 5 like big names that you could have picked from, really, and like kind of shuffled them. But
I'm going to put Sheldon Brown in my top 4 just because of the hit on Reggie Bush.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that hit was
brutal.
I went Eric Allen number 2.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of earlier. I was like, you've been talking about Eric Allen for years.
I mean, he's a Hall of Famer.
It's ridiculous that he's not.
Yeah,
he's everything.
His numbers up like Revis, all those guys. His numbers are right at him, if not better.
Yeah, everything in his career shows that he's
6 Pro Bowls, 34 picks, 5 touchdowns just with the Eagles. Criminal.
Number 3, I had to go just for the interception side of it, Asante Samuels.
I almost put him on there.
I almost put him on the list too, but I went with.
He was that honorable mention for me.
Yeah, my last 2 was Troy Vincent and Lito Shepherd.
I put Shepherd on there just because all 3 of his pick sixes were against the Cowboys in like the most crucial games of the season, where he picked Drew Bledsoe off for 102 yards to win the division.
I only went Malcolm Jenkins at 4 because of his versatility, that you could throw him in the box, and you could throw a lot of those guys in the box. But
he was
again, I just kind of went.
He had 515 tackles. That's who I got as my number 4 too.
Yeah, I
won the Super Bowl, and if he didn't take out Brandon Cooks, we might not win that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
a great hit.
Jenkins was kind of like the B-rated Dawkins in the way that he captained the defense and his versatility, but obviously, not B-Dawk.
Not the level, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a B-.
C+, whatever you grade Walmart as a store, that's what his rating is.
He's the Wish version of Brian Dawkins.
I mean, all these Eagles had return touchdowns. That seemed to be like one of their biggest standout things. And
Jenkins has like what, 103 yarder off of Brady.
Yeah.
Is it Brady or
That was
Didn't you
pretty. I
pick
think.
Rodgers too in the end zone. I don't know
Oh,
who
I'm
took
sure.
that back.
I'm sure. I loved
Oh,
what
I
was
know,
it?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that. I can see the play. I can't see
Hmm.
who had it though.
All right, so we got Dawkins. Most of us went Vincent, Eric Allen, and Malcolm Jenkins, and there were two with different ones, right?
We had
Lito
Lito.
Yeah,
Shepherd.
Lito Shepard.
Lito Shepard and Michael and Brown, Sheldon Brown.
I'm just glad nobody put
Yeah, I
Bobby
just gave him
Taylor's overrated
the-
ass.
Hitting
We go. Anybody go Bradley Fletcher?
Namdi.
Oh God.
Kerry Williams?
Oh my god. Crazy we went from Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor to Lito and Sheldon to Asante was good, but
Kerry Williams and Bradley
was
Fletcher.
slot. Yeah.
Bradley Fletcher.
Thelio Hansen was low key a good slot corner, but they just picked on everybody else in that secondary.
Bradley Fletcher might be the worst corner I ever saw, like that played for a stretch of time, like not just like a spot start. Like he was a starter for a while, and he was so bad.
Yeah, I mean, Kerry Williams was at least okay when he was with the Ravens. So yeah, I would probably say Bradley Fletcher takes the cake.
When I was like, I first got on Twitter, I saw he didn't have one. I almost made one and like was going to fully impersonate him, like not like as a parody account. See if I could just get away with like, yeah, this is Bradley Fletcher's social media, just because I hated him so much.
Well, I'm sure he probably had a social media at one point and then came to Philadelphia and deleted it really fast.
Oh man. All right, so that was our all-time lineup. How do you think they'd fare?
17-0.
Yeah. Weapon X.
Our only question mark would probably be at quarterback.
Yeah, in all honesty, like the
Yeah.
Eagles just have not bred
sure.
like fantastic quarterbacks.
Wentz is the only one with 4,000 yards in the season. That's
Without a
amazing,
receiver
man.
of over 500 yards.
Yeah.
Did Donovan McNabb had 3,400 rushing yards as an Eagle only, or did he get
3,249 rushing yards.
I mean, basically, he
touchdowns.
barely played with the Redskins, so
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering because I just saw that stat on Wikipedia and it had everyone.
I think that was his biggest downfall is when he decided he wasn't going to run anymore.
Yeah, the year that he
Throwing all
beefed
that
up,
weight,
he was
yeah.
terrible. He came in here just
But
looking
the
like a lump of
one,
meat.
the one season that he had a receiver in TO, pretty sure his rating was over 100.
I mean, I'll give him props. Speaking of that season, he was the first QB ever to have more than 30 touchdowns and less than 10 interceptions in a season.
I mean, he was fun to watch, but I just hate it. Like before the games, if he wasn't smiling, he just looked like he was out of it. It's like, oh, here comes the worm burner game. He's just going to be
Yeah,
chucking the ground.
the whole
Yep.
this shit. Like I got
Donovan
so
chest
tired of
tap,
him.
man. I
I
give
got
a lot
so
of
tired of
Donovan
him
chest
patting
tap.
his chest, man. I wanted to punch his fucking chest, dude. He got
That's
on my
on
nerves.
me, man. That's on me.
The good old air guitar game against the Cowboys in the playoffs when we got our asses handed to us.
He was more concerned about Chunky's Campbell soup or whatever. Those commercials were cringy, man.
McNabb's just a cringy guy.
Yeah,
And
like
he's a guy who tries to be funny and it's just like, come on.
I
man.
think growing up is realizing that T.O. probably, as crazy as he was, kind of had a point that McNabb's a little bit of a self-centered
Yeah.
jackass.
I agree.
A lot of people say To was self-centered too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
they
he had,
both-
he had his own fair share of issues. Like once you go everywhere and every team has an issue with you, you're part of the problem. But I'll give him credit. Donovan McNabb was also a big part of the problem too.
Yeah, he didn't like the fans taking a TO over him.
But if it wasn't for McNabb, there would be no To there.
That's true.
And if it
See,
wasn't for McNabb, there'd be no Vic there,
That's
which was
true,
funny
too.
because then Vic took his job.
So, any notable cuts from the Eagles today?
Nothing really shocking. I mean, the big shocking news was the safety that we got, which
Yeah.
that was my biggest question mark. My biggest worry going to the season was safety, and I think they shored that up a little bit.
Still a bit of a. I mean, he played less than 1% of his snaps last season as safety, but
He was a nickel guy.
yeah, and we already got the best slot corner in the NFL in Avonte Maddox. So
Yeah.
but again, safety isn't what Madden makes it seem. Safety isn't always the deepest guy on the field. Like you get anybody playing Madden, they think cover two. Oh, safety is just the two guys back there. Like,
Yep.
There's a big difference between strong and free safety. Like I think I'm with you, Jake. I think he shores up that safety spot. I just, there's definitely still a little bit of trepidation with seeing how many snaps he's actually played as a safety.
I do love
still better than Anthony Harris. Anthony Harris fucking sucked.
I mean, I looked at his stats from last year, and he had a 73 passer rating against him when he was in coverage. So it's not like he can cover, he can play zone, he can play man. So that doesn't seem to be the issue.
That's gonna be nice against tight ends and running backs. Coming out of the backfield, he can cover those guys.
Yeah, if he can handle a slot receiver, he can handle the running backs and tight ends.
And he just got dog in him. He's gonna get in your face.
Oh yeah, dude, he's gonna be a fan favorite real fast.
Yeah, but if he doesn't play up to it, it's going to get old real quick.
Yeah, if he starts getting in people's face and doing the incomplete or something when
Jalen Mills finger wag.
The worst.
I wanted to take damn garden shears and just lop the finger off, man.
10 yards overthrown, he's out there.
Yeah, somehow gets away with a nasty hold. No, like, dude, you're lucky they didn't call holding on Julio Jones's miss in the end zone in the divisional round.
That's still Julio. If he's a great receiver, should have caught that.
Hey, he would have landed out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, Julio Jones had problems in the red zone anyway, so he probably wouldn't have caught it regardless.
It was in the end zone. No, Julio's not good at those.
Yeah.
If it would have been like on the 10 or something, yeah, I probably would have caught it.
I think it's because I was at that game and I was in that corner of the end zone. I was just being really loud. I think I got in his head.
Good.
They were like, "Who's that medium beard guy in the crowd?"
There's that white Boston Scott in the crowd.
There he is.
Wait, who's that short little kid? No, is that a leprechaun?
Hey, I wasn't allowed to have a beard at the time, so I just looked like a kid.
Just back there, like over the guy standing in front of you.
I think I got on his shoulders.
So, Ryan, are you going to go up for any games?
I make it a point to go to the Eagles-Cowboys game every year. I went to the one in Dallas in 2017 where we smacked the dog shit out of them. So that was fun. And then I've been to the one in Philly every year since. So I'll probably go up for that game.
Now, what about you two on the bottom there?
I try to, it's expensive as shit, but I try to.
Insane.
Are you close? Are you guys close? I don't even know where you're from. Are you in Philly?
I'm like 30 minutes outside of the stadium.
I'm like 45 minutes.
You guys are like near Hershey and shit.
No, I'm south of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm out west, but not. I'm still like an hour from Hershey.
I'll tell you what, they better chill out with the hype around the team, or else the ticket prices are just going to keep going up.
Oh my god, no.
They already increased parking apparently.
I think it went up $5, 45. But I'm not even concerned about parking because Dallas is like $100.
Yeah, Dallas $100. Parking
$80.
So got to get a loan from the bank to buy a beer at Cowboys Stadium.
How much are they in Cowboys Stadium?
It was like $18, man. It was stupid.
So but hey, at least they got stripper poles in there.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah,
that place got to be making a fucking killing.
I got tickets to the game against the Steelers and the game against the Packers. I got a couple of Steelers buddies that are friends. They pissed me off, so they're going. And then I got two of my best friends. They're twins and they're Packers fans. So, but I got my Eagles cheese head I made from when I'm up to Lambeau. I'll be wearing that. Spray paint it in the hotel room. Smelled spray paint for 3 days. Slap some Eagles logos on the side of it. Boom, throwing it right on there.
Beautiful.
We'll all be looking for that one.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know what games I'm going to. I know I want to go to a couple. I just, money we just talked about, and unfortunately, you pay for a TV and
yeah, I got the 75-inch at home. I'm pretty comfortable watching it at home. Don't get me wrong, tailgates are blast.
Oh, tailgates make the whole thing, dude.
Yeah, that's the whole experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get there at like 9 a.m.
120 inches. Just fucking beautiful. painted the wall, broadcast right on it. Then you got the little side TV for Red
yeah,
Zone.
for Red
your
Zone,
fancy
yep.
team, Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I got the Birds on the 75 and Red Zone on the 55.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Crank the Birds up.
There's actually an Eagles bar right near me, like 5 minutes away, surprisingly. I mean, other teams go there too, but it's easily dominated by Eagles fans every Sunday, which is surprising. I mean, I guess when you're like local to the Panthers, there's not much to root for. So
Yeah.
at least they have good taste down here.
Yeah, a lot of Southern bars are Philly sports, and same with out in California. I mean, you figure most people go and retire to Florida or down south or out west. So
Well-traveled fan base too, regardless.
especially for only having one Super Bowl win. Usually, like the Steelers, Cowboys, they travel well, but really it's just all the bandwagon fans in those cities.
Mhm.
A lot of people move out of Pittsburgh, so that's kind of like where that starts too. A lot of people don't stay here because the jobs aren't always great. Well, they weren't, but they're getting better. But why naturally, they go to Arizona. I think they go to those cities where there's not a big fan base, so they can take their Steelers and bring in others. That's just my thoughts on that. Like if you go to St. Petersburg, Florida, there's a Steeler bar every other bar. It feels like in St. Petersburg when I was down there. I don't know if you guys ever traveled on a Sunday and tried to find a bar for Eagles or not.
I usually just go to my bar right here.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure. Sometimes there is a vacation planned, and
No, I don't plan anything on Sundays. I married my wife. Well, when I first started dating my wife, I was like, I'm just letting you know now, putting it out there. Do not schedule nothing on Eagles games. I don't care if it's your family event. You can go by yourself. I am not going.
Don't
So,
if it's our anniversary, that's too fucking bad. We're not doing
exactly.
anything. Like,
Yeah,
We went. Our really only honeymoon after our wedding was we went to the Eagles game. So
nice.
that's where we spent all the money.
all you need.
Yep.
Nice. I love it. Yeah, that's what I was asking too. We got anything else? We got any predictions? Ryan, predictions.
I have tempered expectations. 11-6 at best.
They taking the division over the boys, or is there going to be another team in the mention?
Yeah, I think with the additions that they made over the offseason, and the Cowboys losing Amari Cooper and Dak Prescott's career passer rating being about 20 points lower without Amari Cooper, I feel like he's got something to prove too. So, yeah, I got the Eagles winning division.
Jake B.
I got bottom end 10-7, top end 12-5. Hot take: I have Dallas as third in the NFC East.
I don't. Yeah, I could see that.
I have the Commanders coming in there at second.
Ooh, that is a hot take. Everyone heard it here.
I
Commanders
just heard
second.
Chase Young's going to be out for
at least week 1. Yeah, if
no,
not more.
he's on the pup list.
Oh, so at least 4.
And there's a rumor that he's going to be out more than that.
So he hasn't healed from was that ACL, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So they don't always heal as quick as they think.
Depends on if you tear any of the other ligaments in the knee too.
Exactly. But as these guys said, I got them between 10 and 12 wins. Cowboys losing Smith again, losing Lyle Collins in free agency was huge. They should have paid him over Dalton Schultz. They could have found a tight end at his level for a cheaper price, and they could have paid Collins. And I think it's really biting them in the ass now because now they have no depth. The past couple of years, Smith's been injured. They had some guys be able to rotate in, but I don't think they'll be able to do it this year. Their wide receivers are crippled right now. The only one they have is CeeDee Lamb. Zeke's fat, and everyone thinks Tony Pollard's some god, but I think it was just because they had a decent O-line for so many years. But this year they're not. Their best player is Micah Parsons, but I think teams are going to pick up on his skill and start shutting him down.
Yeah, and Trayvon Diggs is the Dak Prescott of corners, just gets garbage time stats.
Exactly. They have nothing else in their secondary besides Diggs. and he gets burnt. I mean, he was getting torched in training camp pretty bad.
Yeah,
Didn't he take down his account?
Yeah, he did. He suspended his account because he got torched.
That was the video,
By
right?
some like scrub receiver too.
Yeah, by like a USFL
Yeah.
guy.
I just remember reading that. I don't remember the whole thing. I just saw that he took down his account.
I think the saltiness from the Cowboys fans that they clipped Tyreek Hill beating Darius Slay, and they're like, weird or something like that. And I was like, bro,
Yeah, they were like, oh,
what?
all the Eagles fans are.
Tyreek Hill's the second fastest dude in the NFL. Like, come on now. Behind Quez Watkins, obviously.
Tyreek Hill's speed is just stupid. So if you're covering him 1-on-1 and your pass rush doesn't get there, you're probably screwed.
I'd be stoked if Slade could cover Tyreek Hill one-on-one in coverage.
One-on-one throws.
Yeah, and their feet got tangled up too.
Yeah, he got hurt. He did the old, I got beat, so I'm going to pretend my hamstring hurts now.
That's a Bradley Fletcher special.
Yep. Really was. Every time he got beat.
Every other play.
Would have had him.
Could have had him. All right. You boys got anything else? We've been about an hour and 10 minutes almost. It's been fun. I love talking all the teams. I want to get to know them. Even though I take a different route than what you guys do on your shows, obviously. I like what I do. I don't know. Makes it a little more entertaining.
In all honesty, it brings good content for sure.
You can have us back on when we make Super Bowl this year.
Well, hopefully we can do something before that,
Yeah, no doubt.
I'd love to have like a little like rivalry week or, I had Cowboys.
Bring the Cowboys fans on. Let's do that.
We could do this. That's fine with me.
Rated show.
What game is that? I know we got.
It's October 16th. It's the Sunday night game.
All right, so we'll have to do it midweek, right? Before the week starts, like a Wednesday, because it starts on Thursday.
Dallas week.
What day? I don't know what day you three all run cast.
I think we'll probably go Tuesdays and Fridays during football season.
Okay.
We're gonna do Saturday and Sunday nights.
We're typically Monday, Friday, or Monday, Saturday.
All right, so we'll try and get October 16th week, and we'll see if we can get a little fun rivalry chat.
Sounds good.
Rated R. Make sure you mark explicit before you send it to Spotify.
We can do that. It don't matter to me. I mean, I'm all about bringing good content and letting people hear what they have to say. Oh, excuse me. And that's what I got. I'm not sure. Got a great show comment, guys. If it pops up, is it showing? Oh, there it is. All right. Sorry, like I said, my screen is all buffed up. There's 8 of yous on my screen, so I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm scared to touch any buttons because it could just totally throw off everything. But she's gonna mark this down on her calendar, obviously.
Oh yeah,
or Alexa. Yeah. I didn't even know Alexa did the calendar thing, but that's cool.
Oh, hello from Japan.
Hello.
I see that.
Wow.
You can like
right now.
Like and subscribe.
That might be my girl Marissa. She liked when I quote tweeted it.
Okay, all right.
She lives.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have any followers in Japan. I guess
11 in the morning over in Japan.
Isn't it? Yeah. What time is it over there? 8 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 11 in the morning.
Whew.
Phils are down 2-0 already. It's what you like to
see.
Especially with Gallon on the mound today. Go ahead and chalk this up as a series loss. I played ball with Gallon when I was growing up. That dude was disgusting.
Well, she's paying attention, obviously. That's awesome. So we're talking. So she's already at tomorrow.
Yep. Once lunch, I'll take some lunch.
We could go for some good food.
Pretzels.
I'm about to go tear some food out when we're done here.
Yeah, what's Philadelphia's favorite thing besides the cheese?
Besides cheesesteak. Cheesesteak.
Cheese fries.
And some water ice.
Water ice.
I always like to find out like what's the good stuff around Philly to eat. I've only been there. I worked down there for like a week and a half, so I didn't really go out.
Cakes.
I was right outside the stadium, so that was cool. I got to see the stadium every day.
Yeah.
So, which one was better, the Vet or
The Vet sucked.
Yeah, the Vet was terrible.
Yeah, the Vet was terrible.
It was awful.
It was just like Three Rivers, Riverfront, even Bush. They were all the same buildings back then.
I mean, do you remember when they stopped the preseason game because the turf was such shit? They shut down the whole game for an Eagles preseason game because the Vet turf was terrible.
I don't
Playing
remember
on
that.
carpet with like landmines, pretty much.
So was it like playing on concrete, just like the
Yeah.
Three Rivers?
They said it was like putting a thin carpet on top of concrete.
That's a horrible way to play football. It's like playing in the street and you get tackled on the concrete. Ugh. All right. So, Jake, we did not get your plugs whenever the show started. I didn't realize
It's all
that.
good. With Old City Sports Network, we're a newer network. We got tons of shows. So head to oldcitysports.com or head over to my Twitter page, OCSN_Jake. You can find our links on there, on Facebook as well, Old City Sports Network. Sundays for the Birds is my show, but we have plenty of other ones. If you're not in the Eagles, we have a wide variety of shows from hockey, other sports. We just got a college football show, so that'll be fun to tune into. So check out Old City Sports Network whenever you get a chance.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't realize I cut you off. I made a note of it. Obviously, I'm still. Anyone else do pen and paper on their shit?
I was going to ask, you're
Yeah.
doing pen and paper, man? Have you ever heard of a Google Doc?
I don't know. I don't know. I had a bunch of notebooks laying around, so I just kind of do it that way. And I feel writing it down helps me remember better.
That's what I do too. I wrote everything down for the night.
Instead of copy and paste, like I don't memorize anything on copy and paste.
The only thing that sucks though is half the time I can't even read my own handwriting. So I'm
I'm
looking. I'm like, what the hell does that say?
I'm like, fuck. That's why
Yeah,
I try to make.
I
Go ahead.
realized that was a downfall. Like when I did the Google Doc today, like I couldn't, like without my glasses, I can't read shit on my computer screen anyway. So
Well, apparently she writes everything down too. I'm assuming after she wrote me too.
Either that or she's ready to eat.
Yeah, that too, right? I've never eaten I've never been to Japan, so I don't know their food. I mean,
Well, I hate to have to hop off here, but my dog's going nuts and keeping my girlfriend up. So
Oh shit!
I gotta go.
all right, Jake,
Yeah.
I'll see you Saturday.
Oh yeah.
that was my last question. Do you guys podcast together? And apparently Ian's talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing a fun show Saturday.
Yeah, coming on Saturday, we're actually going to talk birds. We had our AFC and NFC East preview, but I'm sure that the conversation will go one direction pretty quickly.
Have you guys ever done a show with Jake, the OCN?
I went to an event with Jake B
Oh yeah.
a while ago, so that's like when I really first got into podcasting. It was a good time.
Oh yeah. We're in hoping to make an official announcement this week about a new bar that we're going to be doing shows from.
Okay, yeah, we'll be doing a Chamonix Creek Brewing.
Nice.
We'll be doing a pregame live show.
That's a great spot.
Yeah, for the Washington game, September 25th. So
Yeah,
Gonna
it's a
look out
great
for that,
spot. I've
too.
been there a couple of times.
yeah. So when we get the flyer together, I'm sure you'll see it on Twitter and Facebook and all that good stuff. So definitely come out if you guys have a chance.
Cool.
Sweet. If I'm ever in Philly, I will let you know. We'll have to
Yeah,
get a beer.
Obviously, I'll hit you up, Jake, but other Jake, I'll let you know as well.
Cool. Appreciate that.
All right, guys. It's been fun. Get your dog taken care of, Jake B, and let's not get your girlfriend pissed off at us.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It was a blast.
All right, guys. Thank you. If you guys want to stick around, I'm going to do my ending and close this thing out. And you guys, it's up to you guys, but I'm going to do the ending and close this out. All right, guys?
Sounds good. Go Birds.
Alrighty.
Go birds.
Absolutely.